mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. This live stream may contain explicit content, strong language, and discussions that some individuals may find offensive or challenging. If you are easily offended, sensitive, or uncomfortable with open and candid conversations, we recommend that you turn back now. We believe in fostering a space for genuine and unrestricted discussions, but we understand that our content may not be suitable for everyone. Please be aware that a wambulance will not be provided, and we will not be held responsible for any emotional discomfort or offense caused by the topics discussed. By choosing to continue watching Rock&Rabbit Holes, you acknowledge and accept the mature nature of the content presented. Thank you for your understanding, and we hope you enjoy the exploration into the depths of adult conversations with an open mind. Now let's jump down the rabbit hole.
Conspiracies thrive, and the truth's in disguise. They dive deep down rabbit holes so dark, unveiling mysteries, leaving their mark in the world of music, where nothing's what it seems. Rock and rabbit holes are chasing down dreams. Rock and rabbit holes are chasing down dreams. Rock and rabbit holes, where the whispers are loud, where the truth is a needle in a haystack of sound. From deep fakes to mysteries untold, they explore it all. Rock and rabbit hole. On Rock and Rabbit Holes, they talk of legends and those who vanished, of songs that hold secrets never to be banished. From Elvis sightings to the moon landing tubes, they spin tales of shadows in the afternoons. They dive deep down rabbit holes so dark, unveiling mysteries, leaving their mark in the world of music, where nothing's what it seems. Rock and rabbit holes are chasing down dreams. Rock and rabbit holes are chasing down dreams. Rock and rabbit holes, where the whispers are loud, where the truth is a needle in a haystack of sound. From deep fakes to mysteries untold, they explore it all. Rock and rabbit hole. With each episode, a new revelation. They question the fabric of our fascination in the echo chambers of our mind. Rock and rabbit holes, the truth they find. So tune in, let your mind roam free to Rock and Rabbit Holes, where the truth may be in the world of music, where stories unfold. Join the journey on Rock and Rabbit Holes. On Rock and Rabbit Holes.
Welcome in, everybody. Tonight we are going to be talking about the Philadelphia experiment. If you guys don't know what the Philadelphia experiment is, very interesting stuff. Now, we told you last week to watch the movie on YouTube this week. I don't know if you guys did or not. I personally did not watch it this week either. It's been years since I've seen the movie. But I did do a bit of research this week, and I got some very interesting articles indeed. Before we get there, let's bring our panel up. Today it's me and DJ Nider Blue, or some of you may know as the Pastor Rapture. The rest of the crew will be along shortly, hopefully. And if anybody out there in the audience wants to come hang out with us tonight or has something to discuss about the topic tonight, let us know and I'll get you a link and you can come up and join us for sure. How you doing, Pastor? Hope you are
I'm
doing
doing pretty good. It's really freaking hot out there now.
Yeah, there's quite the heat wave going on in the
Yep,
States at
that
the
is
moment.
pretty crazy. But we are here. No more cicadas. Cicadas are gone. But yeah, it should be a good show. We're talking about Navy stuff, and the old sailor likes talking about Navy stuff.
Yeah. Dog Pug, good to see you. Also, Roque Avellaneda, good to see you. Roque, good to see you, my friend. Miley
Camila.
Blue, good to see you, Camellia.
Tiny Chihuahua. Roke, good to see you.
Where'd you see that? Where'd you see Tiny Chihuahua?
I'm looking at them in the comments over here on the side of the
over at
StreamYard
the
feed.
Rumble. I'm looking at the wrong chat. I'm looking at the Rumble chat. Accessibility depleted. Good to see you. Highway Star, good to see you, my friend. There they are. My Tiny Chihuahua Life, good to see you. Me get over on Rumble real quick and make sure you guys have wrenches over there. Tonight we're going to be talking about the Philadelphia experiment. Now, there's been a movie about the Philadelphia experiment going around for quite a while, and I watched it years ago. I guess maybe I should have watched it again this week and refreshed myself, but I really didn't have the time to do that. Highway Star, good to see you. Make sure you get a wrench over there. Alrighty, want to make sure I said hello to everybody.
Midwest Night Watchers.
Midwest Night Watchers, good to see you, my friend. Midwest Night Watchers is awesome. I got to hang out with him, and our friends Robert Bauer, Jim Goodall, last night. And yeah, we talked about some very interesting stuff.
Hello, Lady Tanya.
All right, give me just one more second here and we will get started. Seems we have some rabbit hole members that are MIA tonight. No worries. Real quick shout out. We got 9 people watching over on YouTube. We have 14 people hanging out over on Rumble. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. All right, let's get in a little bit to what the Philadelphia experiment is if you guys are not familiar with it. It's quite an interesting story indeed. Now, of course, I'll give you guys links to all of these articles. And, of course, we use nothing but the finest of resources like Google, Bing, and Wikipedia, so you know that your sources are true and accurate. Abe, good to see you, my friend. Let's get some large text here. Blow this up a little bit so you guys can see it.
That doesn't work on these, does it?
Philadelphia experiment was an alleged event claimed to have been witnessed by an ex-merchant mariner named Carl M. Allen at the United States Navy's Philadelphia Naval Shipyard in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, United States, sometimes around October 28, 1943. Allen described an experiment where the U.S. Navy attempted to make a destroyer escort, the USS Eldridge, disappear, and the bizarre results that followed. The story surfaced in late 1955 when Allen sent a book full of handwritten annotations referring to the experiment to a U.S. Navy research organization, and a little later, a series of letters making further claims to a UFO book writer. Allen's account of the event is widely understood to be a hoax. Several different and sometimes contradictory versions of the alleged experiment have circulated over the years in paranormal literature and popular movies. The U.S. maintains that no such experiment was ever conducted, that the details of the story contradict well-established facts about the USS Eldridge, and that the physics the experiment is claimed to be based on are non-existent.
Of course they'd tell us that.
Now, anytime I see a government that says well-established facts about anything, that concerns me a little. We have one of our Rock&Rabbit Hole crew members, J Math, popped in. How you doing, Russell? Good to see you, my friend.
Hi, Russ.
What up? What up?
And just to let you guys know out there, I have all these guys' links pinned in the description, so make sure you go to the description and show these guys some love as well.
Sweet. Ooh. Quantum teleportation that doesn't technically exist, right?
Supposedly, yes.
Well, according to Tesla stuff, Tesla had some stuff that could potentially do that.
I wanted to go pick up that link so I can check it out.
Yeah, they talk. It's funny that they talk about it, but it's like, I mean, it's not just them, doing quantum teleportation, matter transport, opening wormholes and stuff like that. Can you imagine the amount of power that it takes to do something like that? So they were going to try and do it, off of, the little bitty generators that were on the Eldridge. No, I mean, you'd need something like a warp core. So they're using other energy production technology. How about that?
Dr. Nimrod, good to see you, my friend.
What year did they do this experiment now? And what year did perhaps John Searle, the inventor of the SEG free energy generator and its principles and dynamics of generating free electric energy with inside of its zero mechanical parts, all free floating electromagnetic cool stuff, Tesla stuff, if you will. Hell yeah, they could have made their own power. Well, even a diesel electric. How long has diesel electric been around?
Hi, Erica. Good to see you.
Gear down, buddy, and spin it up higher.
Even before diesel electric, you were using steam electric.
Yes, that is correct,
yeah.
Howie Star. Supposedly, they figured out how to teleport small objects. The goal was to make a ship invisible to enemy radar, is exactly what the idea
I love
was.
that you said steam electric. Here's why. Tesla's oscillator, the one that could shake a building down, supposedly, was a steam-powered oscillator, frequency oscillator. Was steam-powered. What?
Let's get into the origins of the story. The story of the Philadelphia experiment originated in late 1955 when Carl M. Allen sent an anonymous package marked Happy Easter containing a copy of the Morris K. Jessup's book, The Case for the UFO, to the U.S. Office of Naval Research. The book was filled with handwritten notes in its margins, written with 3 different shades of blue ink, appearing to detail a debate among 3 individuals, only one of whom is given a name, Jemmy. They commented on Jessup's ideas about the propulsion for flying saucers, discussed alien races, and expressed concern that Jessup was too close to discovering their technology. The commenters referred to each other as gypsies and discussed two different types of people living in outer space. Their text contained non-standard use of capitalization and punctuation and detailed a lengthy discussion of the merits of various elements of Jessup's assumptions in the book. There are oblique references to the Philadelphia experiment. One comment reassures his fellow annotators who have highlighted a certain theory which Jessup advanced. Shortly thereafter, January 1956, Allen began sending a series of letters to Jessup using his given name as well as Carlos Miguel Allende. The first known letter warned Jessup not to investigate the levitation of unidentified flying objects. Allen put forward a story of dangerous science based on alleged unpublished theories by Albert Einstein. He further claimed a scientist named Franklin Reno put these theories into practice at the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard in October 1943. Let me pull this back a little bit. Where was I? Let me scroll down here. I don't want to read all of this. I actually have a better, I'm going to stop this one here because I actually have a better article that I've been waiting on. And that's this one. This one actually comes from history.navy. And I'll give you guys a link to this site. Which there's a lot of interesting stuff on this site. There's so much shit that you can check out. But we're only going to check out the Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah. So Navy, right? Navy's fun because it means vessel. So vessel means ship, and ship could also be out of water ship, which is even more fun because that's ship like...
Yeah, like an airship.
What,
or a spaceship.
Or a galactic battleship. Or a spaceship.
Happy birthday, Erica. 53 years young.
Right on. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. So this comes from the Naval History and Heritage Command. And I thought this one... Maybe it's the next one. Okay, it is the next one. Whoa, that might be too much. The wheel on my mouse is kind of messed up, so it's hard to zoom. Allegedly, in the fall of 1943, a U.S. Navy destroyer was made invisible and teleported from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to Norfolk, Virginia, in an incident known as the Philadelphia experiment. Records in the Archives branch of the Naval History and Heritage Command have been repeatedly searched, but no documents have been located which confirm the event, or any interest by the Navy in attempting such an achievement. The ship involved in the experiment was supposedly the USS Eldridge. The archives have reviewed the deck log and war diary from Eldridge's commissioning on 27 August 1943 at the New York Navy Yard through December 1943. The following description of Eldridge's activities are summarized from the ship's war diary. After commissioning, Eldridge remained in New York and in Long Island Sound until 16 September, when it sailed to Bermuda. From 18 September, the ship was in the vicinity of Bermuda undergoing training at sea trials until October 15th, when the Eldridge left in a convoy for New York, where the convoy entered on an 18 October. Eldridge remained in New York Harbor until the 1st of November, when it was part of the escort for convoy UGS-23. On 2 November, the convoy entered Naval Operating Base Norfolk. On November 3rd, Eldridge and convoy left for the Casablanca, where it arrived on the 22nd of November. On the 29th of November, Eldridge left as one of the escorts for the convoy and arrived in the convoy on December 17th at New York Harbor. Eldridge remained in New York on availability training and in Block Island Sound until the 31st of December, when it steamed to Norfolk, with 4 other ships. During this time frame, Eldridge was never in Philadelphia. Of course, that's what they would say. God damn this mouse. Supposedly, the crew of the civilian merchant ship SS Andrew Forsyth observed the arrival via teleportation of the Eldridge into Norfolk area. Andrew Forsyth's movement report cards are in the 10th Fleet records in the custody of the modern military branch, National Archives and Records. Administration, blah, 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 which also has custody of the action reports, war diaries, and deck logs of all World War II Navy ships, including the Eldridge. This movement report cards list the merchant ship's ports of call, the dates of the visit, and convoy designation, if any. The movement report card shows that Andrew Forsyth left Norfolk with convoy USG-15 on the 16th of August and arrived in Casablanca on the 2nd of September. The ship left Casablanca on the 19th of September and arrived off Cape Henry on the 4th of October. Andrew Forsyth left Norfolk with convoy UGS-22 on 25th October and arrived in Oran, wherever that is, on 12th of November. The ship remained in the Mediterranean until it returned with convoy GUS-25 to Hampton Roads on January 7, 1944. The archive has a letter from Lieutenant Junior grade William S. Dodge. The master of Andrew Forsyth in 1943 categorically denied that he or his crew observed any unusual event while in Norfolk. Eldridge and Andrew Forsyth were not even in Norfolk at the same time.
Well, I mean, like,
allegedly.
Right. That's like just like saying, well, if it's not on a patent list, it doesn't exist, but we know that there's over 5,000 not listed, like, blacklist patents that aren't U.S. patents that are, like, above what we need to know.
Above what we can.
It's like if they had to put it on paper, like, oh, dude, you're going to see nothing. Psh, here you go. Give them the story. Send it. Ship it.
Nah.
If it ships.
I thought this part was funny. The Office of Naval Research has stated that the use of force fields to make a ship and her crew invisible does not conform to known physical laws. ONR also claims that Dr. Albert Einstein's united field theory was never completed. During 1943-1944, Einstein was a part-time consultant with the Navy's Bureau of Ordnance, undertaking theoretical research on explosives and explosions. There is no indication that Einstein was involved in research relevant to invisibility or to teleportation.
Or quantum computing or quantum electromagnetic, like, shifting of ions and molecules, and when you use enough amplified energy from a certain source in a certain way, in certain fields, you can literally bend space-time. Like, it's quantum. I mean, I've broken down quantum and kind of played with different quantum theory using my co-pilot, surfing the internet of all of the people that, talk about this kind of stuff, and I kind of can blend my own ideas to it, but it's very simplified in its dynamic shit. It's just sad that they would have to hide it as bad as they do.
It's all about the power. You know that.
Oh yeah, but for sure, it's a simplified technology. I mean, you look at it nowadays, you're like, fuck yeah, we could recreate that and simplify it if they would let us and not show up and just scoop us the fuck up, right?
Well, it's funny because they figured out a different way of making Navy ships invisible, so to speak. I mean, if you know how a radar works, a beam goes out, it touches something, it bounces, it comes back.
So
new Navy ships are all made of angles. So
well,
that's
just
part. If
I was just thinking even more complex than that. When you start using an ion field at a super like heightened power state, it produces its own types of UV light in its own energy field. Will produce. It's like luminous, glowing, kind of the same way the aurora borealis, if you will. You know, it will start flowing in its own dynamics, light waves of that ambient sound, light energy flowing through what is being generated as, you know, that electromagnetic energy. So you could almost use it kind of like, what the hell is that movie? Independence Day, right? Think force field. Electromagnetic force field. Enough energy pumped around it, just like your Wi-Fi emits a big old bubble around you, and if you sit inside the bubble, your headphones will reach it with your Wi-Fi or your phone or whatever you're hooked up to it. Same concept, just super, super hella amped up.
All right, we're almost done here. The Philadelphia experiment has also been called Project Rainbow. A comprehensive search of the archives has failed to identify records of a Project Rainbow relating to teleportation or making a ship disappear. In the 1940s, the code name Rainbow was used to refer to the Rome-Berlin-Tokyo axis. The Rainbow plans were the war plans to defeat Italy, Germany, and Japan. Rainbow 5, the plan in effect on 7th December 1941 when Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, was the plan the U.S. used to fight the Axis powers. Some researchers have erroneously concluded that degassing has a connection with making an object invisible. Degassing is a process in which a system of electrical cables are installed around the circumference of a ship's hull, running from bow to stern on both sides. A measured electrical current is passing through these cables to cancel out the ship's magnetic field. Degassing equipment was installed in the hull of Navy ships and could be turned on whenever the ship was in waters that might contain magnetic mines, usually shallow waters in combat areas. It could be said that degassing, correctly done, makes a ship invisible to the sensors of magnetic mines, but the ship remains visible to the human eye, radar, and underwater listening devices. After many years of searching, the staff of the archives and independent researchers have not located any official documents that support the assertion that an invisibility or teleportation experiment involving a Navy ship occurred at Philadelphia or any other location. According to the Navy. According to the Navy, it didn't happen.
According to the Navy, they also do have anti-gravity systems that are United States Navy patents, off-world anti-gravity United States Navy patents. What's up, Cool Frog?
Oh, Cool Frog.
Hey, frog.
Alrighty, I do have one more. Now, fortunately for this one, I don't have to read it. The truth, this is the truth behind World War II's creepy Philadelphia experiment. This comes from military.com. Give you guys a link to that site. There's a picture of the USS Eldridge right there. This article's about 5 minutes, so let's listen in.
Just a quick word from our sponsor.
Right
At
after
Smith's
this
Pharmacy,
commercial.
Care is what's most convenient for you. Care is being here when you need us. We're open evenings and weekends. Care is helping you save more. Most
That's where I shop, is Smith's.
I have a theory about how the experiment went wrong. It's fun.
Read the small print.
Behind World War II's creepy Philadelphia experiment. As military urban legends go, the Philadelphia experiment is one of the creepiest and most grotesque ever. It alleges that there was a secret U.S. Navy experiment on the USS Eldridge during World War II and claims the ship was made invisible or cloaked to radar and even teleported or time traveled. Originating from claims by Carl M. Allen and Morris K. Jessup in the 1950s, proposed explanations include mistaken identity, misinterpretation of real experiments, and fabrication for entertainment. It has endured as an infamous World War II conspiracy theory. But is there any truth to it? Let's take a look. According to legend, on October 28, 1943, the USS Eldridge, a Cannon-class destroyer escort, was conducting top-secret experiments designed to win command of the oceans against the Axis powers. The rumor was that the government was creating technology that would render naval ships invisible to enemy radar, and there in the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard, it was time to test it out. Witnesses claim an eerie green-blue glow surrounded the hull of the ship as her generators spun up, and then, suddenly, the Eldridge disappeared. The ship was then seen in Norfolk Naval Shipyard in Virginia before disappearing again and reappearing back in Philadelphia. The legend states that classified military documents reported that the Eldridge crew were affected by the events in disturbing ways. Some went insane. Others developed mysterious illness. But others still were said to have been fused together with the ship, still alive, but with limbs sealed to the metal. That'll give you nightmares. That's some Event Horizon SHT right there. Which is actually a convincing reason why the Eldridge's story gained so much momentum. In a 1994 article for the Journal of Scientific Exploration, Jacques F. Fillet theorized that deep-seated imagery is key to planting a hoax into the minds of the masses and of the educated public. But before we break down what really happened that day, let's talk about the man behind the myth, Carl M. Allen, who went by the pseudonym Carlos Miguel Allende. In 1956, Allende sent a series of letters to Morris K. Jessup, author of the book The Case for the UFO, in which he argued that unidentified flying objects merit further study. Jessup apparently included text about unified field theory because this is what Allende latched onto for his correspondences. In the 1950s, unified field theory, which has never been proven, attempted to merge Albert Einstein's general theory of relativity with electromagnetism. In fact, Allende claimed to have been taught by Einstein himself and could prove the unified field theory based on events he witnessed on October 28, 1943. Allende claimed that he saw the Eldridge disappear from the Philadelphia Naval Yard, and he further insisted that the United States military had conducted what he called the Philadelphia experiment, and was trying to cover it up. Jessup was then contacted by the Navy's Office of Naval Research, which had received a package containing Jessup's book with annotations claiming that extraterrestrial technology allowed the U.S. government to make breakthroughs in unified field theory. This is one of the weirdest details. The annotations were designed to look like they were written by 3 different authors, one maybe extraterrestrial? According to Villet's article for the Journal of Scientific Exploration, Jessup became obsessed with Allen's revelations, and the disturbed researcher took his own life in 1959. It wasn't until 1980 that proof of Allen's forgery was made available. Inexplicably, 2 ONR officers had 127 copies of the annotated text printed and privately distributed by the military contractor Varro Manufacturing, giving wings to Allen's story long after Jessup's death. So what really happened aboard the USS Eldridge that day? According to Edward Dudgeon,
First, a couple of things that I thought were kind of red flags here. Why is it that anytime one of these scientists has some kind of breakthrough, he ends up killing himself? Jessup became obsessed with 108th elevations, and the disturbed researcher took his own life in 1959.
Oh yeah, 'cause that
Dude, he did a jet. He yeah. He didn't hang himself.
Hang himself? Did he throw himself off the top of a building?
Right.
Well, supposedly that's what Admiral Forrestal did. Threw himself out a window. So, yeah.
Yeah, don't invent technology to save the world, or they'll show up and just
Delete you.
yeah. I
who
gotta
served
stop
in the
doing
U.S.
that.
Navy aboard the USS Engstrom, which was dry docked in the Philadelphia Naval Yard while the Eldridge was. Both ships did have classified devices on board. They were neither invisibility cloaks nor teleportation drives designed by aliens, but instead, they scrambled the magnetic signatures of ships using the Degassing technique, which provided protection from magnetic torpedoes aboard U-boats. How stuff works suggested that the green glow reported by witnesses that day could be explained by an electric storm or St. Elmo's fire, which, in addition to being an American coming-of-age film starring the Brat Pack, is a weather phenomenon in which plasma is created in a strong electric field, giving off a bright glow.
Huh, that's interesting. You remember us saying that? The ion field kind of shows up in light's luminous.
Yeah, but from somebody who's been on a ship that was fully degaussed, turning on the degaussing field doesn't make the ship glow. Sorry.
Well, now amplify it with, like, let's say 7 TeVs of energy from a steam-powered electromagnetic generator.
And unless you were running room temperature superconductors, you run that much power through OEM copper cable, you'd vaporize it.
Yes and no, depends on the mechanical systems of which is generating the energy. Like, so for example, so when John Cyril, public record, built a flying saucer in his front yard with NASA scientists, and when he flew it in front of the dude, the article's written, like the whole town, and they were like, whatever. Okay, the United States, or the whatever military, UK, and then he got brought later on into the United States military over the same technology, okay? Anti-gravity, free energy technology. Using magnets, amplified, and basically positive, negative with conductor fields, amplified energy. You could pick it up in all the resonant energy. You could electroplate it with waveform encoding of certain frequencies. You shift the ion fields. I mean, you could use a lot of ways to manipulate that energy.
Almost like fire. Finally, inland canals connected Norfolk to Philadelphia, allowing a ship to travel between the two in a few hours. The USS Eldridge was transferred to Greece in 1951 and sold for scrap during the 1990s, but Alan's hoax would live on in our effing nightmares forever. More articles from We Are the Mighty. 6 urban legends about Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Why Okinawa is the most haunted place in the military. 11 scary ghost stories, legends, and haunted military bases. We Are the Mighty, WATM, celebrates service with stories that inspire. Watton is made in Hollywood by veterans.
I think that was it. So again, I mean, now, I'm pretty sure the Navy keeps close track and records of where these ships are at all times. So I'm sure you could find, like, you could probably track where the Eldridge was from the time it left port to the time it returned. Know what I mean? I mean, granted, truck drivers fudge their logbooks too. So,
Well, until the advent of AIS, you could pretty much go wherever you wanted as long as you were out of line of sight of somebody else. Nobody knew where you were at. But, you know, taking the, what did they say, the intercoastal canals? Yeah, that would have been high vis.
Did you ever see that movie Battleship? Like the impedance in certain frequencies would show up as like, ping, here you are, and nobody never expected it.
Yeah, let's just leave the sci-fi movie bullshit out of it. Let's stay in the rabbit hole.
There's a theoretical practicality to it.
AI made some pretty good pictures when I put them in there. I think this one turned out the best, but very interesting indeed. Now, I know you guys out there in chat, some of you were talking about the movie earlier. Of course, I ain't showing anything on YouTube because I've been flagged so many times that I can't put anything on YouTube except for my own music, which is fine.
You have your own army of trolls.
I do. And they report me for everything. And the cool thing about it is I have YouTube working on that right now, which is nice. Now you guys can watch the Philadelphia experiment right there on YouTube. You can watch both movies, as a matter of fact.
Don't bother with the second one. It's pretty bad.
What is up with my computer today? Acting very slow today.
Yeah, and seriously, I mean, if they're talking about they were trying to make the ship disappear. Okay, so you end up punching the ship through a wormhole. It just so happens to show up in another naval station. Why not, Timbuktu? But it's very specifically another naval station.
I'm reading this little article right here. It says, evidence and research. The historian Mike Dash notes that many authors who publicized the Philadelphia experiment story after that of Jessup appeared to have conducted little or no research of their own. Through the late 1970s, for example, Allende Allen was often described as mysterious and difficult to locate, but Goerman determined Allende's identity after only a few telephone calls. Others speculate that much of the key literature emphasizes dramatic embellishment rather than pertinent research. Berlitz and Moore's account of the story, The Philadelphia Experiment Project Invisibility, claim to include factual information such as transcripts of an interview with scientists involved in the experiment, but their work has also been criticized for plagiarizing key story elements from the novel Thin Air, which was published a year earlier. So it seems like some of these guys are just using other people's, what other people have done, and, oh, that one turned out freaking cool.
The next set I'm throwing in look even cooler because they're more older, like nostalgic.
Battle carrier.
I like that one with the flag flying off the front.
Me too, I like that one.
All of them got the airplane launch ramps on them, though. That's really strange. Or no, that's antennas on that one, isn't it?
It's AI. I mean, they have a hard time figuring out how many fingers are on a human hand.
Yeah.
And how to spell hand.
So it's just a simple prompt was the USS Eldridge from the Philadelphia experiment in cinematic realism, and these last ones are as an old photograph.
That does look like a real old, like an actual photograph. Some of these, some of this art that AI makes is really good. Some of it's fucking horrible and laughable, but some of the stuff they make, man, is really good. Some of it's pretty fucking lifelike.
So it makes me wonder, Clay, so if they had the stuff that didn't have the blocks and the scrapes like we had for longer, they could, and let's say way longer, right? They could have literally invented history and lied to us in the textbooks, which we already kind of know a lot of they did, but how far does it really go?
If astral travel and biolocation are possible within the human experience, then surely it's possible to transfer that energy into inanimate objects. Right? This is true. Well, and I gotta admit, it was the U.S. government doing that, so they definitely did not know what they were doing.
No, they just got carte blanche money, and they were like, hey, let's send it to this guy and see what he can do. You just tell a bunch of these dumb soldiers on this boat, you say, hey, you follow me, you do this, grab this cable, drag it over here, drape it over the side, don't ask questions because this is way behind your head. And you're thinking, you're a soldier, you're not an electromagnetic engineer from a steam-powered generator. Right? You know what I mean? Just here, put this here.
Dwight Bailey.
It's steam-powered generators. What do you think aircraft carriers run on? Nuclear-powered aircraft carriers.
Well,
That's
back
all
then,
steam.
50s. Steam-powered, obviously, because in the
It's the
article
same
we
thing.
was reading. Yeah, right. But back, he was saying it was powered under steam, which is the article in the story. And then I'm thinking Tesla's machines, some of them are operated and powered by steam-powered generators to produce high amounts of energy in electromagnetic fields and do research on those very things, Tesla principles, of which the Philadelphia experiment is very much wrapped up in Tesla stuff and Tesla research stuff. And the military, I tell you, they fucking love the shit out of Tesla stuff that they don't tell you about, or me, or nobody.
Real quick, I wanted to shout out the 6 people over still hanging out with me on YouTube. I appreciate you guys hanging out on YouTube and not afraid to say hello in chat. I appreciate you guys. Also, shout out to the 15 people over on Rumble. You guys are awesome. I'm considering using the Rumble Studio as well because we can stream to as many places, have just as many people on panel, all in the Rumble Studio. So I'm considering maybe testing that out one of these days. Misunderstanding of documented naval experiments. Personnel at the 4th Naval District have suggested that the alleged event was a misunderstanding of routine research during World War II at the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard. One theory is that the foundation for the apocryphal stories arose from degassing experiments, which have had the effect of making a ship undetectable or invisible to magnetic mines. Another possible origin of the stories about levitation, teleportation, and the effects on the human crew might be attributed to experiments with the generating plant of a destroyer, USS Timmerman, wherein a higher frequency generator produced corona discharges, although none of the crew reported suffering effects from that experiment. I'd never heard of that. I might have to look into that a little bit further. Observers have argued that it is inappropriate to grant credence to an unusual story promoted by one individual in the absence of corroborating evidence. Robert Gorman wrote in Fate magazine in 1980 that Carlos Allende, or Carl Allen, who is said to have corresponded with Jessup, with Carl Meredith Allen of New Kensington, Pennsylvania, who had an established history of psychiatric illness and who may have fabricated the primary history of the experiment as a result of his mental illness. Gorman later realized that Allen was a family friend and a creative and imaginative loner, sending bizarre writings and claims. Mm-hmm. Very interesting.
Like that, demagnetizing a boat to pull it off a radar and make it undetectable to the mines, right?
Well,
Isn't that just essentially using the boat hull as a Faraday cage?
No, it doesn't work like that.
I mean, essentially the principles of it, but not like it. Different, obviously.
Well, no, you got to figure if you're running a boat that's made out of steel, it's going to deflect the magnetic field no matter what, period. So what you're using the degassing coils for is
that's the whole reason for an anode and a cathode, to take the charge.
No, that's not that. No, that's a totally different system. Bro, you're talking about a fucking sailor.
All right.
Your degassing coils, port starboard, fore and aft.
I like that, Doc.
And all they're used to do is negate the ship's magnetic field from the steel hull. Now you take that degaussing feature and you put it on a wooden hulled boat, you can completely hide the magnetic signature of the ship. Period. All the way, from the hull line to 12, 18 inches out. That's it. Aircraft carrier, you get that thing's magnetic field goes out, 20, 40 feet. So even you can negate that a little bit, even something as big as an aircraft carrier, but you can't completely negate it just overall because of the hull. It's made out of steel. It's going to deflect the magnetic field no matter what you do.
Now, I wanted to kind of take a look at what a corona discharge is. An electrical discharge caused by the ionization of a fluid such as air surrounding a conductor carrying a high voltage. It represents a local region where the air or other fluid has undergone electrical breakdown and become conductive, allowing charge to continuously leak off the conductor into the air. A corona discharge occurs at locations where the strength of the electrical field around the conductor exceeds the dielectric strength of the air. It is often seen as a bluish glow in the air adjacent to pointed metal conductors carrying high voltages. Emits light by the same mechanism as a gas discharge lamp. Corona discharges can also happen in weather, such as thunderstorms where objects like ship masts and airplane wings have a charge significantly different from the air around them. And you can kind of see on one of the... you can't blow that up. Like on
And
a
that's
power
also
line.
a long exposure photograph. That's still really cool. So yeah, you
Is
can
plasma
negate the
discharge?
magnetic field some.
Is a plasma discharge a long photograph, or could you like pull a hot lead off an AM FM antenna, and that frequency is going to pull a big ass arc, of which you can hear all of them radio waves transmitting through, by the way, and that's also the same thing. That's a high voltage ion field plasma electric
Good to see
light.
our astrology.
Yeah, you push enough electricity through the air, even the air starts to light up, right?
Push enough, you can actually make it smell like burnt ozone.
Never smelled burned ozone, but yeah, and hiding from radar is just a matter of look at your modern Navy ships. They're all angles. So that's how you defeat radar. You do one of two things. You either absorb it or you deflect it. So by having everything set at really oblique angles, it gives very little opportunity for that radar energy to return back to the receiving antenna. And then the energy that does manage to get bounced back doesn't, because it gets absorbed by the radar absorbent material that covers most of the superstructure of those ships.
Yeah, it's all sound and frequency and energy wars with computers thrown in and fancy shit.
Here is some alternate explanations, and I like this. Researcher Jacques Vallée, unreliable source, describes a procedure on board USS Engstrom, which was docked alongside the Eldridge in 1943. The operation involved the generation of a powerful electromagnetic field on board the ship in order to deperm or degass it, with the goal of rendering the ship undetectable or invisible to magnetically fused undersea mines and torpedoes. This system was invented by Canadian Charles F. Goodeve when he held the rank of commander in the Royal Canadian Naval Volunteer Reserve, and the Royal Navy and other navies used it widely during World War II. British ships of the era often included such degassing systems built into the upper decks. The conduits are still visible on the deck of the HMS Belfast in London, for example. Let's take a look at that. I want to make sure it's the right picture before I open it up. Been there, done that. So you can't even tell. So this is all just stuff. So you would know this is all stuff that's inside the hull that you would nobody would even see, right?
Yeah, so yeah, all the conduits and stuff are passed inside the skin of the ship.
Degassing is still used today. However, it has no effect on visible light or radar. Vallée speculates that accounts of USS Engstrom's degassing might have been garbled and confabulated in subsequent retellings, and that these accounts may have influenced the story of the Philadelphia experiment. Vallée cites a veteran who served on board USS Engstrom and who suggests it might have traveled from Philadelphia to Norfolk and back again in a single day at a time when merchant ships could not, by use of the Chesapeake and Delaware Canal and Chesapeake Bay, which at the time was open only to naval vessels. Use of that channel was kept quiet. German submarines had ravaged shipping along the East Coast during Operation Drumbeat, and thus military ships unable to protect themselves were secretly moved via canals to avoid the threat. The same veteran claims to be a man that Allende witnessed disappearing at the bar. He claims that when a fight broke out, friendly barmaids whisked him out of the bar before the police arrived because he was underage for drinking. Then they covered for him by claiming that he had disappeared. So degassing has been used for a while, and it's basically just for mines and torpedoes, right?
Mines primarily, because I want to say the detector that was on the torpedoes was a little bit different design. So I'll fuck it up right now. Anyway.
Yeah, you like that word, confabulated?
There we go.
I don't even know what that word means. What does that mean? Confabulation is a memory error consisting of a production of fabricated, distorted, or misinterpreted memories about oneself or the world.
Oh, confuzzled.
That's funny. I've never seen that word used in a article before. Well, granted, it is Wikipedia, so. And you know how truthful a source Wikipedia is.
Can also degauss CRT monitors.
Now that's where I know the word degaussing. It's from my old 1995 PC, fucking around with the monitor. That's how I even knew what the word degaussing was.
You push the degaussing button, the screen goes, whoa.
Yeah.
Resets itself.
Back when I was a tweaker, I had to check every single thing about Windows 95. God damn. With some interesting articles. Honestly, I would think if they had the technology back then to do something like that, and something like that really happened, they would probably be using it now. You know, what, 60, 70 years later? They would probably have it, you know, not saying that they don't, because it's possible they do. But, you know, you just only hear about this one incident and then nothing else really of transportation. There's no other like transportation conspiracies, you know what I mean? Or like other than like CERN. That's a whole nother rabbit hole in itself.
Yeah, there is. Oh, come on. Stargate technology. All them emails deleted off of servers and smashed over Stargate technology stolen from Iraq. Underground stuff.
Yeah, Camille. They could, you know, with technology like that, they could just pop in somewhere, grab what they wanted, kill who they wanted, and pop out.
Yep.
Quantum teleportation, space bridge technology. I mean, that's theoretical possibility according to science is available that they'll let us have. Theoretically.
Well, theoretically, imagine that. Take, what do you use now to deliver nuclear weapons? You use missiles. What if you could just push a button and zip, nuclear warheads right in the middle of the biggest city that you want to get rid of? Hey, easy. There'd be no defense against that.
Like Star Trek, right? Beam it down.
Beam that shit in there. There you go.
Yeah.
Or deep underground bunkers with high-speed rail, like electromagnetic, super-cooled conductive, like Mach 6, Mach 8 trains, maybe. Be in a different continent in a matter of like 2-3 hours with whatever you just then took off with.
Yeah, that's kind of my theory. Why would we be fighting anywhere if we could just pop in, take out the leader, and pop out?
To expose all this stuff.
To expose what, man? We can see it for our own eyes.
Alright, so you know for a fact that they found Russians pulled children rescued out of Joe Biden-owned deep underground bunkers? You know that,
what?
right?
It would not surprise me.
I know that. See, I know that,
Yeah,
and I know that.
Where's the videos?
Why do you, bro? In time, sure. Just like you were aware that all those patents existed that you got pissed off about that when we dropped MK Ultra gang stalking United States patents. Guess what? Anti-gravity patents, United States Navy. Those are real.
Okay,
But you know these things, right?
Alrighty. I picked up that link because I'm going to check that out. Every modern conspiracy theory about aliens explained in 10 minutes. I want to check that out. Normally, I would play it, but unfortunately, YouTube doesn't allow me to do that anymore.
Yeah, I don't need to see videos of children being pulled out of deep underground military bases that have Joe Biden's name all over them. All I need to know is that children are disappearing, and nobody knows where the fuck they are.
I like this. Joe Biden's underground bunker is a reference to him in the basement leaving something in a bucket somebody else has to remove.
Oprah disappears 10,000 children from Africa. Where'd they go? 10,000 kids disappear from Hawaii as it's burning. Where'd they go?
Yeah, very interesting.
Underground systems. Extensions of the Third Reich Operation Paperclip.
I'm just saying, if they're gonna kidnap kids, can they kidnap the kids that already have that want their college tuition reimbursement? Can you go ahead and just kidnap them kids first? Yeah, like Epstein Island. You got something against better employment for street hoes? What, you think they have to work on the corner the whole life?
So think about this, though. It's worse than Epstein Island because there's like 7 more islands, and there's like carte blanche money. Think of how much money Oprah has made. You don't think if she trafficked children, she would have built a fucking deep underground, like deep-rooted in the bedrock of the ocean floor with their deep digging, tunnel digging machines that they pay for?
Well, Epstein was just one circle. Look at what the P. Diddler's going through right now. There's another circle. There's going to be tons of people.
Richard Branson. Follow the Black Eye Club and the Red Shoes Club.
There's plenty of these circles all over the place. And the problem and the reason why there's still circles is because they're ran by rich people. And that's the reason they can get away with it. Like, look what Epstein did. You walk into Epstein's foyer, a full-on picture of Bill Clinton in a dress. You know what I'm saying?
Tom Podesta's art, people
and
included, Red Shoes Club.
He kills himself in prison, but he has a full-length wall-sized photo of Bill Clinton in a dress. Come on. Come on now.
Yeah,
Get the
Red
fuck
Shoes
out
Club.
of here. There's definitely some crooked motherfuckers up in
There's some.
Yeah, you guys keep talking about rings, you know, sort of like the circles of hell.
running in the deep underground. I mean, wouldn't they? And don't they?
Have a good night, Roque. Sleep well, my friend. Yeah, right. Well, when it comes to politics now, I'm a firm believer that you're really just voting for opposite sides of the same coin. At this point, I've seen a lot of shit in my life, 55 years old. I give two shits who fucking they vote for. Is it going to change my life? Probably some. It is my opinion, though, and I'm not a Trumper, but it is my opinion Trump is definitely better for the U.S. right now than fucking Biden. And that's my personal opinion. You can call me a Trumper if you want. I think I'm not a statist, so I think they could both have D's nuts. But it's my opinion that Trump would definitely do better for this country right now than what we're in, the state that we're in right now.
It's a pretty simple question, Easy. Are you better now, financially, than you were 4 years ago?
I'm definitely not.
Neither am I.
In a monetary structure world, we're fucked, right? Obviously.
It's not that I'm making less money. It's everything else got way more expensive. What I used to spend $100 at the grocery store a month, now I'm spending $250.
Oh, dude, I heard somebody today. They're like, I remember going to the store spending $300, and that was an entire cart. He's like, $300 fits in 3 bags now.
Yeah, it's everything used to be $5 at the store. Now everything is $20 at the store.
Dude, I saw one today. Dude went to, I guess, In-N-Out in California. $35.
Now
I have to laugh.
last time we went to McDonald's, I think I got a Big Mac meal. My wife got the double quarter pounder meal, and it came to like $35. And that was nothing special, nothing fancy, nothing extra. And I looked around like, fucking A, man, we should have just went to Texas Roadhouse and paid the extra $15. Got us a fucking steak.
Eaten there once, and the piece of meat they served me was literally half fat and gristle. So, you know, it's supposed to be a freaking 12-ounce sirloin. It was less than 6 ounces of meat. It was fucking disgusting.
I didn't even get a pandemic check, Doc. I didn't get no Obama money whatsoever. Zero. Yeah, what would Trump do with Israel? That's a very interesting question. I think we'd probably know what he'd do with the Ukraine and Russia. He's going to put an end to that. But that is a very interesting question for sure. Yeah,
Did you know that
for real.
under Trump executive orders, when he was president, signed an executive order that still stands to this day. It actually came with a plan that's public knowledge. You can look it up. Fuck, I can't remember. I've done so many things since it, but it is public knowledge. You can look it up. It is the plan to enact the fake Joe Biden presidency with a puppet mask rubber wearing guy and wake the rest of the sleepy sheeple up. You know, and it's the same reason why when the fake rubber mask wearing Joe Biden was inaugurated as a president under a military funeral instead of an inauguration, which is super, super, super important, by the way, if you like those kind of military kind of things and like military executive orders. fun stuff.
Dude, you brought this up. You brought this up last week. Okay, if that's really the case, if that really is the case, what's the deal with the 4 battalions of Chinese troops that have invaded the fucking country behind the other 10 million other assholes?
Hey, so it's just like, who said that? It was like JFK. It was like, only on the brink, on the fucking edge, on the motherfucking brink will people find the will to change, kind of shit. Dude, it's also the psychological operation that goes on that equivalates to the movie that we're watching, and I can't wait till we get to the end, bro. It's all there. It's all outlined. If you look,
that makes no sense. To save the nation, you're gonna destroy it?
What?
We have over 10 million criminal trespassers currently in this nation. The vast majority of them being men of military age. And then behind that, we have literally 4 battalions of Chinese men that have come across the border. All right. These are invaders. These are foreign troops on U.S. soil.
Dude, I'm aware.
What's the point of letting them here to save the country, just to wake people up? Because, bro, people aren't waking up. The establishment has them. The educational system has been corrupted for, 50 years. And they have been planning this for a very long time. You have a full generation of people who do not understand the dangers of socialism.
No, it's true. They don't.
Hey, who invented the school system? The public school system is invented by the Rockefellers, by the way, just to let you know. So that's why that's fucked. Just to let you know, in case you didn't know. Yeah, healthcare. That's probably originates from the John D. Rockefeller Masonic Creed, where we'll get them with the fucking healthcare, beauty, air schools, every fucking thing you can motherfucking think of, and people don't want to ignore that. Like, everybody's like, ooh, there it is. I mean, fuck. It's all in the movies, it's right in your face. It's all in the fucking writing on the wall, it's in your face. It's spray painted in the air, it's spray painted in the fucking food. It's spray painted right in your fucking face, slapping you in the face. And so fucking many ignorant people chose to let it get this far. So when you cut the head off the snake, you still have to let all the weasels think that they're in charge. So that's what we're watching.
That doesn't make any sense. You cut the head off the snake, so the fucker dies.
When shit's so fucked up, you gotta be so far ahead of the game like a tactician, dude. People don't show up unless you want them to be there on a stage to fucking wake people up, homie. You ever watch the movie Law Abiding Citizen? It's kind of like that, even more fantastic.
Sad thing is, people in this day and age, they sit in their front rooms, they're watching their MSNs and their CNNs and their Fox's News, and that's where they get all of their information. They don't, people like us that go and find sources for information. We're called extremists, or terrorists, or conspiracy theorists, like we were all called conspiracy theorists at the beginning of the pandemic. Yeah, remember when we were all conspiracy theorists because the science is correct? Remember all that bullshit? And come to find out, we're not as big a conspiracy theorists as you fuckers think we were. So definitely some shady ass shit that's going on. Oh, that, Tanya? I just needed something funny up there. Mostly something to offend the YouTube folk. That's why it's up there. It was either that one or this one. I didn't like that one as much. And I thought about this one. That one's kind of cool. I'm down with the 420. But this one's just funny. That's why it's up there. Because I'm 12 in my mind. Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. Describing what has happened to humans in this clown world. And actually...
Oh, but put the one he put up there before that.
Before this one?
Yeah, the one that starts all religio mythology is evil.
Oh, let me go back. Oh, right here.
Yeah. So another call for genocide. That is disgusting. Absolutely. 3,000 years of abusing the planet. Where is your evidence to back that up? Your evidence, not your opinion.
Amun-Ra?
Your evidence.
Amun-Ra, originally depicted with horns, almost simulated a reptilian in origin, and then at the end of prayer in all religions, most religions, we say amen. Ooh. English language, taught as spell casting, incantation. I mean, you can go as deep with this shit as evil as you want, bro. It does. Because it does. They do. 3,000 years, bet your fucking ass, dude. They're hella good at it. We ain't been around for 300... Fuck, no, we haven't.
Just to explain this, that's just because I'm fucking 12 in my mind. That's the only reason why. Because I can't put a fart joke up there, so I have to do this. So yes, that's the reason why that's up there. No other reason. Other than I'm just childish.
If the only history that you are reading is being provided by the Muslim Brotherhood, yes, that would be true. But you haven't read everything, have you? So this is your opinion. This is not a fact.
So I made
In
this.
fact, you keep going with it.
Go ahead.
Yeah. You've all already heard my story. So you keep
Scott's
going.
been good to see you, bro. So I'm going to play this real quick. This is a song I made with Suno AI. I named it Football because I was afraid that I wouldn't get away with the actual name of the song. But it did turn out pretty funny. See what you guys think.
Savage roars and vicious glee. This fucked up fate for all to see. Heart of darkness, he makes a stand. A football fate in his right hands. Monkey fucking football, it's a twisted sight. Fury unleashed in the dead of night. No shame, no fear, just brutal delight. This shit's insane, a savage fight. Echoes of madness in the jungle deep. A monkey's fucked up, secret to keep. Leather torn, primal screams. This shit's real, beyond your dreams. Monkey fucking football, wild and free. The savage land, where insanity freaks. A twisted dead, a primal flight. This shit's crazy, every fucking night. Every fucking night.
Monkey fucking a football. That is my opinion of what our government is doing right now.
And that's putting it nicely.
Now, there is a battle going on in chat, and that's what it's open for. It is there for dialogue. I would just ask that you guys respect each other in chat. But you can speak about whatever you want. I'm all for free speech, as long as you're not being racist or sexist. I guess everything else is fine. When it comes to that, I'm not getting into it. I personally am not a religious person, so I'll let that stay in the chat. Just to let you guys know, over on YouTube, if you didn't know, every Wednesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, I do a 25 must-watch indie music videos. It's an uninterrupted video playlist. It runs about 2 hours. I come in, introduce the playlist, and then I come in at the end and let you guys know what's coming up for the Friday show. So make sure you guys hit up the links down in the description so you guys are all subbed over on our Rumble channels. And if you guys aren't over on Rumble, you should seriously consider checking it out. It is very cool. Not that anybody's listening on YouTube anyway. I have 2 people watching on YouTube. I have 15 people hanging out over on Rumble.
Rumble's the shit.
So
18.
For when it comes for YouTube, I'm just going to go ahead and shut my YouTube stream down and just stay over on Rumble because it's becoming a joke at this point. I think I will start doing maybe one stream in the middle of the week from the Rumble studio just over to YouTube. And I'm going to start showing people how to report all of these other channels for reused content, just like they did to me. So that's going to be an interesting thing. So keep an eye out for that for you guys on YouTube. And you guys, anybody else watching over on YouTube, if you're not following me on Rumble, go down in the description, hit up them links down in the description.
You ought to be.
Yeah, you ought to be. Hit up them links in the description. Come and hang out with us. I'm going to shut the YouTube side down. We're going to keep partying over here on Rumble, so if you want to come and hang out, come and join us on Rumble as well. Thanks, you guys on YouTube. We will see you guys next week.